this is Clear Day. Today we're going to work on the skill of moving from a wheelchair to a toilet and back. And everybody's bathroom is different. So we're going to talk about a couple of different ways to position the chair to make it the easiest for you based on your bathroom. Now, of course, there are some bathrooms, especially in older homes that have very narrow doors and you can't fit the chair through, or have a very narrow space to the toilet and they are not able to take the chair all the way in. If they absolutely can't walk on the walker, you could work on some type of a rolling stool, something that's smaller. You have to be careful holding people, so that they don't fall off, but hopefully you can work out a solution where you can get right close to the toilet with the chair, and we'll show you how to do it depending on if you have to face this way or face this way or face this way. So let's get started with that. For every mobility skill, it's really important to have everything set up before you start. You get like in the middle of it, you're kind of tired, it's crowded, they have to go to the bathroom, you're rushing. It's better to just do all of that stuff up front real fast, get it out of the way, and it will be quicker, believe it or not. And so one of the first things is to remove any clutter from the bathroom. If you've got a little trash can, a toilet brush, a throw rug, a hamper, anything like that, so you've got as much room as possible, unless you're just super lucky and you have a big open room with a toilet in it, which most of us don't. So the next most important thing is if they have footrests is to take them off. There are a few people that can't hold their feet up, so when you want to get as close as you can before you take them off, but just get rid of them out of the way completely. Don't try and leave them flipped up. They will be in the way. So if they need help, you can lift their leg. You just push the button and they lift right off. And now you've got a ton more space. Let's turn you just a little bit so we can get it up. There we go. All right. Now, if this person is having trouble getting up and down, and you have enough space, you want to minimize the amount that they have to turn. So, some people pull up and face the toilet, they have to go 180 degrees. Now, if you move fine, that's great. But if not, if you get a little more to the side here, you don't have to go but a few degrees, okay? So ideally, here their feet are going to be almost where they need to end up. You're going to get the brakes on. Don't worry about it. Yeah, okay. Now, you can have a walker right here if that's how they move. If you have a toilet, like a bar next to the toilet or a sturdy countertop, they can reach for that. You can help by being in front, doing a little bit of a lift. So we'll try that way. I'm going to let him reach for that railing and have him push here with this hand. We're going to just stand, turn slightly, and sit right there, and it's going to be really easy. If you want to make it even easier, you can take this armrest off and get it all the way out of the way, okay? All right, so we're gonna go count to 3 and just swing over here, okay? So 1, 2, 3. Great job. All right?
Okay.
So what I'm doing, because you could see he was pushing and pulling a little bit, you wanna make sure they're stable. I'm getting my knees around his knees and I kind of block. That gives you some leverage to make sure they're not tipping, but also to straighten their knees a little bit to get them upright, okay? So that's the least amount of stepping that you have to do and turning. If for some reason there wasn't any space here, but you had some space here, this is a quarter turn and it's kind of a similar. If he reaches and pulls on this, the brakes are fine, but it's, they still slide on the floor. So I often will put my foot underneath, like block the wheel right here. If you have fragile feet, you might not want to do that. But these shoes are pretty strong. So here we can do kind of the same thing. If they can lean forward, that makes it easier for them to get up. If they can't, you can push up from here instead of pulling over there, and that might be a little better. Get their feet back underneath them. Try not to be wearing loose slippers or barefoot. All right, and we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, stand and turn, okay? Here, you put your hand right there on that rail, okay?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. So we're gonna go up and around and down, okay? Not much farther than the other way, so that's not too bad. Now, if you have a very narrow bathroom and you can't get it to the side, then guess what we have to do? 180-degree turn. So if that's the case, you probably definitely want to have a walker or a bar that they can hold on to, because we're going to have to face the toilet and turn all the way around. So you want to get close, but you don't want to get so close that you can't get in there and help, right? All right, so let's lock. Depending on your person, if you do have a rail or a cabinet and they can put both hands there, if they don't have a shoulder problem, that's ideal, because they're not going to have to hold on to you. They're going to be able to pull right up, and then we can turn the feet. And this is kind of if you don't have room for a walker. And if they have a walker and you have room, that's going to be good too. So let's go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So I've got his knee, I've got his waist, and then let's turn and then come down. Great. All right. Now, if you can't put a bar there and there's a blank spot, probably best to get a walker. You can just look at the video, the other toileting video, and we'd show how to do that and turn with the walker and sit back down. If they don't use a walker and they're really kind of wheelchair bound, these are kind of the 3 setups that you can do. And obviously, the closer you are, the easier it is. Always lock the brakes, always get the leg rests out of the way, always remove any clutter, always have shoes on. And again, you can, if this is too low for them and you have room, you can put the bedside commode with the little handles over, and that gives them a little bit more height and a little bit more to reach for when they're sitting down. So if you don't have a railing and you have to just stand up, a lot of people like to put their hands here, but then they're stuck and they can't get around. So it might be best to have one hand. If it's getting really difficult and you can't work out one of these 3 ways, you might need to get some therapy in the home to help you work on these. An occupational therapist or a physical therapist can work on bathroom modification and equipment modification if one of these 3 is difficult, if there's nothing to hold on to and you can't get them up and feel safe. So we can, if they are doing a little bit better, if they don't need 2 hands, and we can do this, I can put my knee in front of his knee, which is just right here, and then we'll do 1, 2, 3 like this. Then I can get his hand there to the seat and turn. Okay, I'm going to put my foot behind the wheel and sit. All right, you made it. Congratulations. Okay, well, hopefully one of these scenarios works in your bathroom, and give some of those a try. It might be a mix of the 3, and might be using a walker or cane, and hope that some of that helps for you, and thanks for watching.